It's the Keeping Up with the Kardashians final curtain. We are here at the reunion.
Andy Cohen is teasing the Keeping Up with the Kardashians reunion, and he says nothing was off limits. Hey guys, welcome back to another shared news from home. We have got to talk about these crazy new Kardashian details, but before we get into it, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring, and I'm joined by the wonderful Mariah Davis. Mariah, these are some very exciting teasers. Let's dive right into it. So in case you missed the news, Andy Cohen will be hosting the Keeping Up with the Kardashians reunion special. It's going to air later this summer, and it promises to cover all 20 seasons of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Andy is, of course, hello, he is no stranger to reunions. He hosts all of the housewife reunions, though he did explain this is going to have a different energy. If you've watched, those get a little crazy. There's a lot of fighting. That's not the goal here. It's more of a look back.
Everybody's here. It's a doozy. We are going there. No ground rules. Nothing's off limits. It's on.
When this news was announced, he did promise fans that absolutely nothing was going to be off limits. Mariah, I just want to pause here. Are you excited about this? Are you excited to have Andy hosting it? What are your thoughts?
I am very excited about this. When he said nothing would be off limits, initially I'm thinking, yeah, right. Sure, maybe nothing is off limits, but is everything going to be told in the most accurate response? I'm not sure, because sure, maybe they want to be open and honest about everything and just close the book on a good note, but is it going to be completely honest, or is it going to be like just to put things to bed and still leave us in the dark? So I'm excited because I have no idea what to expect.
Yeah, I think that was a lot of fans. I had the same exact reaction. I was like, okay, nothing's going to be off limits, but are they going to go there? And it seems the reunion has been taped, and he recently spilled some details on his Sirius XM radio show, and it seems like he really stayed true to that promise, and they really went there. Just to name a few things, he confirmed that Caitlyn Jenner, Kanye West, Tristan Thompson, Kris Humphries, Lamar Odom, Kylie Jenner's lips, fake butts, plastic surgery, dating rumors, Kim Kardashian's Paris robbery, and the infamous sex tape were all discussed during the reunion. So right there, that's quite a list. A lot of topics that have been previously very off limits or shied away from, they don't want to give direct details in the past. And he also explained that the Kardashians wanted to go there, that they were on board. He said, quote, Kim and Khloe specifically were like, we want to do this. We want to do this right. We want to go out with a bang. We want this. We want to go there. Do your thing. He also added, it was kind of a bit intimidating when I sat down with them because they're so not used to this. So pretty interesting. I feel like it's been 20 seasons, which is crazy. And over the years, there have been so many rumors, right, that they haven't been able to address head on because maybe it was a storyline in the show, right? Maybe they were trying to just have some semblance of privacy at the time. But there are still a lot of question marks out there about the Kardashians. And I feel like what a way to bookend this chapter, right? To go back into the vault and to be like, hey, yeah, that rumor from 10 years ago that was a huge, big thing at the time, let's talk about it. Let's put a lid on that. So it's going to be fascinating.
Yes, I think this is an opportunity. People are either going to watch it and be so, so proud of them, or they're going to be really disappointed. If they go over any sort of beauty enhancements and deny things that I think we're all 1000% sold on them having, which is totally fine. I am all for beauty enhancement. If you want to do that, if you want a big old booty, go out and get you one. Sure. If you want big lips, go out and get you some. I think, we already know Kylie has admitted to getting filler in the past, but there's a lot of things. I feel like most recently we've heard a lot about Khloe Kardashian and, just not keeping it real with people. And then, shaming society for setting this beauty standard for her. And society responded with, you set this beauty standard, you and your family. And so I think people could be really, really proud if they were completely transparent and open and honest and, just admitted to things that people, they see as the societal beauty standard. Or people could be really disappointed if they got the whole, this is natural, I don't do that, I don't edit my photos, So again, it could be a great opportunity for people to kind of see the Kardashian family in a whole new light and have a lot more respect for them, or for them to really just disappoint people all around. So I'm hoping for the former rather than the latter, but I'm really excited. I think it's going to be just honestly, like, to be frank, it's just going to be juicy, like, to get all of that tea. And yeah, I mean, if he is, not exaggerating on how they really covered it all, then there's going to be a lot of rumors that are either put to bed or maybe we get like the real spin on. So definitely going to be tuning into that.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, here's the thing with the Kardashians. They've been, quote unquote, like keeping it real, sharing their real lives, right? Real lives with us for such a long time throughout all these seasons. But at the end of the day, it is a reality television show. And while it's not all fake, right, it certainly has, the air of production and, storylines and all of those things. So I think it'll be really interesting. And you're so right. People will either walk away from this really proud of them or a little bit, disappointed or, with some new things they want to air out on social media, because we know that we get to see their real lives. But if they can sort of even take off the reality TV mask and just get really real with fans and actually just share like what they were thinking, why lie about the plastic surgery, right? If they get into all of that, like, that would be a whole new side of them that we don't get to see a lot. So that would definitely be fascinating, to say the least. One person that I actually have to say my mind went straight to was Scott Disick, because there are a lot of things that I want answers from Scott Disick over the years. I think back to like the Kourtney and Khloe Take Miami days and his behavior during those seasons. I mean, we have seen this person evolve so much in front of all of our eyes. There are still so many things about Scott that I just don't get, that I want answers to. And of course, I mean, he's a part of the family. He was there. And Andy gave us a little bit of a tease on what to expect from their conversation. He said that Scott was a little shocked by the process at first. He explained, quote, I was right out the gate with him and he was looking at me like, what is this? Or what are you doing? I think he was a little stunned, but as it went on, they all started really leaning into it. I mean, if we think about Scott, the Scott and Kourtney of it all, right there, that's something where I would want to sit down and be like, just help me get it. Help me get your journey. Help me understand how you are, where you are right now. And then again, like I said, his journey in general, we've obviously seen this person evolve from someone who is totally a villain to someone that fans really love. So I think there are going to be a lot of tough questions for him, and I hope we see him go there. He doesn't really do that. He likes to be, color commentary, the punchline, but we don't get a lot of sit downs with Scott Disick. So this could be really interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my initial thought is, what if he completely like proclaims his everlasting love for Kourtney and wants to, make it work with her. And it's like the first time his current girlfriend hears about it. Like, because correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know, because I don't really keep up with the Kardashians unless they're in the headlines. And I definitely follow all of them on Instagram. But other than that, I don't watch the show. But wasn't it in a recent episode that he had like kind of proclaimed some love for Kourtney? And the first time his girlfriend had heard about it was maybe watching the show. I don't know. You guys will have to correct me down in the comments. Let me know what happened there. But yeah, that's the first thing I thought of was, what if he's like, Kourtney, I want to make this work. Let's get married. Let's have more babies. So it's definitely going to be really interesting. And you're so right. We really haven't heard like any transparent, like just open, honest interviews with Scott to really get to know him. So really the whole persona that we are familiar with is just the persona from the show, which has gone back and forth with like being a villain, being the bad guy, being super funny, really likable. So who knows what I'm at this point. I'm like, I don't even know what version we can expect from him, but I also think it's interesting that Andy was like, at first, he was like, what is this? Are we really doing this? Because, I'm sure they want to keep some privacy, and I totally respect and understand that. But I'm sure after all these years of keeping things in the dark or not disclosing all of the information, maybe he was like, are we really doing this? Like, are we really going to expose like all of the info right now? So that kind of makes me more excited. Like, okay, maybe we really are getting like the actual tea of it all. So even more excited after hearing that information.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think you said it. That's the perfect word, his persona. Like all of the other Kardashians, they've kept certain things private, they've addressed certain rumors, they've avoided others, but they've spent their fair share of time like in the hot seat, right? Having to be one on one in an interview, play it coy, navigate their way out of things. They've learned to be, sort of politicians, if you will, right? They're pretty good at avoiding the question if they want to. They know when to go there. They know when things are going to, be okay to talk about. They're very strategic. But Scott has been able to sort of hide behind a persona for a lot of years. So it's going to definitely be interesting. Kendall and Kylie also haven't done really extensive sit down interviews. When they started this journey, I guess, of life, I mean, they were so young, right? They were just kids. This was something happening to their family. They've grown up in the public eye. They obviously haven't been able to keep their lives super private, but Kendall, she's someone who has not really publicly spoken out about her relationship. She's always kept it very quiet. They're not really big storylines on the show. Kylie obviously had a secret, not so secret pregnancy that the whole world sort of, questioned and, I don't want to say watched unfold because it was behind closed doors, right? But there are certain moments that they have really let us into. But even those two, there are other things that they have definitely kept shut behind a closed door for all these years. So it'll be interesting to see where they go, what they're willing to talk about, what even in this setting they choose to avoid, right? I mean, that I think will be really telling. Everything may be off limits. That doesn't mean they're going to go there with everything. So very interesting. Lots to look forward to. By the end of the taping, it definitely sounds like the whole family was really pleased by the way it went. Andy shared that Kendall said to him, quote, wow, this was so great. We actually talked about so much stuff we have never talked about and have been able to put to bed or address. We did it. We actually did it. So again, Kendall, one of the more quiet, private Kardashians, really pleased with what they were able to get out there and put to bed. Like we've talked about, I mean, they have been dealing with rumors and scrutiny for years. That is something that comes with the territory of the world that they've created, the level of fame they have skyrocketed to. But we've talked about this. It doesn't necessarily make it any easier. So I do think having this sort of like unique forum to just go there probably felt very cathartic. I mean, what a way to end the chapter of this show that's been a part of their lives for so many years.
Yeah, it's got to be really freeing. I mean, and again, like just her saying this makes me think, wow, they really do get into it, because I feel like I'm expecting them to kind of embellish, maybe not tell the 100% truth. But again, I have to remind myself, and we all have to remind ourselves, though they're doing this, we are not entitled to know every detail of their lives. Like, I am so pumped and excited because I'm like, I want to know about literally everything. Like, let me know all of the details, but I'm not entitled to that, right? Like I'm glad that they're going to do this, and I'm sure like there are select things that they're still going to keep more in the family, and that's totally fine. But I think we're all like expecting and feel entitled to like all of the dirty deeds, everything we think we know, we want all the answers to. And it's got to be refreshing for them to, open up about some of the things that have been under a lot of scrutiny or have been big rumors in the past years. But again, we have to remind ourselves, me telling myself this, like, you are not entitled to any answers. Just sit back and enjoy, and, probably take everything they say with a grain of salt. I don't know. But regardless, we are going to be ending the chapter on a high note, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all have to give ourselves that reminder. It really is so hard to, even if you have the best intentions, sometimes you lose those lines a little bit because they are famous for who they are, for their lives. So it's not like we have all these questions about the character they play on television, right? And they can draw that line between what's professional and what's personal. That's really hard to do. So they've done a pretty good job navigating it, all things considered, for all these crazy years. We certainly are not going to end the chapter of Keeping Up with the Kardashians with the end of the show. We know they have something in the works with Hulu. They are all internationally some of the most famous people to walk the earth. But this is going to be a unique, side of them that in theory we haven't really seen, we're not really familiar with. So lots of things to look forward to, you guys. The final season of Keeping Up is obviously airing right now on E! We don't have a set date for this reunion yet, but we do know it's going to be coming later this summer. Of course, we will keep you posted as even more details and information comes to light. In the meantime, that is everything we have to share with you, and we just want to know your thoughts. What are you hoping they get into? Are you excited for this? Let us know down in the comments. And of course, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell because we're going to do our best to help you keep up with the Kardashians all the time. As always, I am your host, Fiona Zaring, joined by the wonderful Mariah Davis. If you want to come say hi, our social handles are on the screen right now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.